All right, ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing like being in the green room. And in fact, there is no green this evening, but we're still in the green room. And you brought some folks here. They're ready to change your lives. The panel, will you all say hello to everybody? Tell them hi. See, give them, push out a little energy. Give them a little energy. Give them a little energy. There you go. There you go. Every one of these individuals will change your life if you let them. And they brought their best ideas. They brought their insider secrets. They brought the lessons they've learned just to give to you, so you can grow your business, so you can have better relationships, so you can have better finances, so that you can really achieve the life you really want. So we're going to start off because you don't care about me. You really don't. So I'm going to jump right in and ask, who are they? Where are they broadcasting from? And let's find out what their topic really is, okay? Let's at least find that out. So we'll start with the one and only Wendy. And so if you can, Regina Clay, tell us if you can, your name, your topic, and where you're broadcasting in from. And don't worry, your colleague Sheila will be jumping in a few minutes.
Oh, and I can't wait. Hello, Shay Brown, and hello, community. I am so glad to be here. My name is Regina Clay. I'm a resiliency coach, an author, and an ordained minister. But I am here tonight to talk about the quick ways to bounce back. I don't know about you, but sometimes you've been on the sidelines. Sometimes you've been stuck. Sometimes you've operated in fear. Sometimes you've had limiting beliefs that have kept you from meeting your goal. Well, I'm here to talk about that a little bit, and I am coming to you from Columbia, Maryland.
Columbia, Maryland in the house. And as they're tuning in right now, they heard the word resilience. Now, I went to D.C. public schools. I know you're right up the street. You went to Laura, right word, and used the word resilience. Resilience. I think that's 3 syllables. And so take a moment, because resilience means different things to different people. And don't worry, as you talk about what does resilience mean, give us about 60 seconds so we're all on the same page. Don't worry, Mozella, one of your colleagues over in Potomac, Maryland, she's going to chime in a minute. She's going to tell us what's on her mind. Take it away, Regina.
Yeah, so resilience, that's why I use the word bounce back, right? I use those simultaneously because resilience is the ability, no matter what the circumstance is, to bounce back from any situation that you are faced with, any tragedy, any trauma, any situation. You are resilient and you're able to bounce back from that situation. So resiliency does sound like a big word, but just use the word bounce back or get back in the game. Let's use that.
Bounce back.
So
okay.
Let's break it down in major terms. Get back in the game, bounce back. We don't stay stuck. We're unstuck.
I love it. So, bounce back. Mozella, now that she told us what it means, that really helps me out. When you hear those words, bounce back, what's going through your mind in 60 seconds or less? And you sound good, by the way. I know you're probably on mute, but you sounded good to yourself, but we can't hear you. But don't worry about it.
Here I am. I'm ready. Bounce back. That just basically means being ready immediately. And so I hear you when you say bounce back, because sometimes we just, like I wasn't unmuted. We've got to be ready so that when the opportunity is right in front of us, we know exactly what our next step is going to be.
I love it. Bounce back. That was a bounce back she just did, if I ever heard. Sheila, sitting over there smiling. Give us a moment, if you would, and tell us your topic, where you're broadcasting in from, and why should folks even listen and pay attention this evening. And don't worry, as you're doing that, Warren's thinking about himself like, I'm going to tell him about mine too. He'll be after you. Don't worry. All right, Sheila, talk to us.
Absolutely. My name's Sheila Farr. I'm coming to you tonight from Biloxi, Mississippi, the beautiful Mississippi Gulf Coast. And I am a Time to Climb, thanks to Comeback Champion Summit 2020, Time to Climb business strategist. And what I do is I work with small business owners and entrepreneurs that are struggling, and we turn them into success stories just by adjusting a little bit of the things that they're doing in business. And I'm here tonight to talk to you about with a purpose and passion. And why people should listen tonight is because lives are going to be changed here. So you kind of want to lean in, tune in, and listen real closely because you're going to learn something tonight.
I love it. Lean in, listen real close. We're going to learn about that purpose and passion. I can't wait. Just give us your definition of passion. What does passion look like, and what does passion mean to you?
Passion looks like a smile. It looks like a big, fat smile. Happiness, can't control it, just exploding and bursting at the seams to do something that you completely love.
I love it. They're all smiling right now. See those big smiles? They're all loving what they're doing right now. Being here with you. Sharing what they know. Thanks a lot, Sheila. I can't wait. Warren, talk to us. Warren, Bowtie Fester. Is that right?
Yes.
He goes, no, seriously, that's his name. Bowtie. Yeah, Bowtie is quote, right? Bowtie.
Yeah. Warren, Mr. Bowtie Feaster, your marriage foundation specialist. I focus on the foundation of marriage. A lot of people focus on communication, intimacy, communication, any other aspects of it, but I focus on the foundation of marriage because I understand that marriage is about longevity. And so those that are coming in, understanding what you're standing on, and those that's been married a while, sometimes there's some cracks in the relationship later on down the line. So let's fill those cracks in because I want to see marriages not just survive, but I want to see them thrive. That goes back to that passion she was talking about and that resilience. So this is going to be great how we bow this in together and tie it into a nice bow tie.
Okay. I can't wait. I can't wait as you want to put into bow tie. Don't worry, Wendy's sitting down there, and Wendy's probably thinking, wow, I know she has a few years being married. Wendy, take a moment, if you would. Tell them where you're broadcasting in from, and more importantly, what you'll be talking about and why it's important.
Okay, I'm Dr. Wendy Labat, also known as the Financial Healer, coming to you from Atlanta, Georgia. And my topic is overcoming the 6 obstacles to winning the money game. Because if you can, if you understand that, it doesn't matter about the economic conditions, it doesn't matter what you're facing financially, you'll know how to overcome it and get to the next step.
Overcome it and get to the next step. Why do folks still struggle with that? I know it's an unfair question, but we'll get to it in the main segment. But take 60 seconds and just, what's one of the biggest challenges? I mean, it's not the first time they've heard someone say, you need to understand what's going on with your money, but yet they don't do it. And I've been in that boat for 47 years. It took me 47 years to break that cycle. So let's not make them 47 years. Talk to us. What's the biggest thing holding them back?
Well, the first thing and the biggest thing with not just your finances, anything you want to accomplish is your mindset and lack of knowledge. If you don't think right, you're not going to do right. You can't want a rich man's wealth and have a pauper's mentality. And then you have to know, you don't have to have a PhD or a doctorate degree, but you got to know some basics. And that's the key. People just want to hope and wish and think it's going to happen. But another one is you have to take action. So those are the key things. And the other obstacles in between are, I shouldn't say minor, but the key is mindset and having the knowledge and then taking action. If you can do those 2, then the rest is just gravy, icing on the cake.
Gravy, icing on the cake. I can't wait. Defina's out there. Kelvin is out there. AK roller skate. He's in the house, by the way. He's amazing, by the way. You guys got to connect with him. So many folks. I see you, Kat, and so many folks are tuning in right now. We're going to go over to Mozella right now. I haven't gone to you, right? Mozella. And take a moment and tell us your topic, where you're broadcasting from, and what's your topic?
Okay. I'm broadcasting from Potomac, Maryland. Did I say that okay,
Yes,
Shane?
you did. I've been in Washington, D.C., so it's a little joke we're playing over here.
That's a backstory thing, right? Yes. And my topic is Rise to the Challenge, 7 core pathways to your summit. Now, clearly you hear the mountain metaphor, and that's the metaphor I use to help individuals, primarily women leaders, in their personal and their professional development, so that they are in a position to meet their opportunities and their obstacles. and know what steps they need to take to get to their summit, which is basically their goals.
Woo, I love it. I love it. Look, ladies and gentlemen, we're in for a treat right now. Mary Beth, I see you out there watching, by the way. Sabrina, thank you so much for tuning in. All of you are tuning in right now. We've got a show. We've got to get going, but when we come back, don't worry. Regina Clay, she's going to kick us off. We're going to learn about this whole bounce back, because once you bounce back, there's some other things you still got to do, but I want to make sure you're ready for the bounce back. I can't wait. With that being said, we got a show in 5, 4. They're ready. Don't worry about it, ladies and gentlemen. 3, 2, 1. We'll be right back, ladies. Promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there, and they stay there, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country, where we're on a mission. And our mission is to empower. Our mission is to inspire. And our mission is to provide you, that's right, you, the single mom, you, the married couple, you, the entrepreneur, you, the speaker, you, the author, you, the coach, you, the person that's out there with all of the resources that are necessary to execute that big, 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 big vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And I like to always start off, I think almost every episode, with the 3 visions that you have. I think it's so important. I believe first you have a vision for yourself. You know, there's a certain car that you want to drive, I'm sure. There's a certain home that you want to live in that looks a certain way. There's certain food, hopefully it's organic, that you want to eat. And it takes resources, which means it takes moolah. I'll say revenue for those folks out there that are educated. Revenue. Okay? And then there's a second vision that you have. I believe you have a vision, not just for yourself, but for your loved ones. I mean, the ones you care the most about. The kids you want to send to a school of your choice. The check that you want to write for the cause that you believe in, or if you're like me, Mother Dear is still here. I get a chance to hang out with her. She's 73 years old, and she loves to order on Amazon using my card, by the way. She loves to stop when we can, and we go out and be safe. And it takes resources to do that, but it's such a blessing. And maybe that's where you are right now. You want to do something for someone else. And then there's a third vision you have, and that's why they're here. They're here to help you with all 3 of the visions, but you have a vision for the people you were called to serve. And I like to use the analogy all the time of Noah in the Bible. And you don't have to be a believer, although I'm one. You don't have to be one. But think about Noah, right? He had this big vision. Now, Noah could have been given a vision to him by God just for himself. Could have went and got a little boat, and he would have been just fine with his family. But he had a vision that was much bigger than him. And imagine if you're Noah. You got the experience. You got the expertise. You're ready to get going. And right before you get going, there's a knock at the door. Yo, Noah, what's up? There are no hammers in the house. No hammers in the house? Cool. We all right. No big deal. I know, the second knock. Everybody likes the second. I always like the second knock. Don't you like the second knock? When they hear the second knock, they say, Noah, over here, there's no nails in the house either. No hammer, no nails. Rule number 1, I never panic. But how many know it's that third knock that takes you out? Looks in the back room. What's going on? I might as well report back here. There are no people, and there's no wood. Good luck on this mission. And maybe that's you right now. You can't do anything bigger than yourself because you don't have the resources. And so this morning, this evening, this afternoon, no matter what time it is, every one of them over here, they showed up for one reason and one reason only, and that's to give you the resources to help you execute any one of your visions. So with that being said, I'm going to ask the panel to say hello and give them a little energy. Say hi, everybody. Give them a little energy. Say hi to everyone that's out there watching right now, that's cooking dinner, that's listening to us in their ears. They're going to change your life. And we're going to start off with the one and only Regina Clay. Now, she has this topic called bounce back. So Regina Clay, as you come on, tell them again your name, which I just said. Tell them the topic, which I just said. But more importantly, why did you pick this topic, and why is it important for the person right now that's taking time away from their family, taking time away from their business, taking time away from washing the dishes, and they're tuned in right now, either watching or listening in their ears right now? Why is this message important? Over to you.
Regina Clay, Columbia, Maryland. Quick ways to bounce back. And let me just tell you why I chose this topic. I have a story like many others, right? Or maybe you don't have the same story as me. But I found myself in a place, in a destitute place, where I needed to know that I needed to bounce back. And I felt like I had hit rock bottom. I don't know if anybody has felt that way. I don't know if you have been balled up in a corner like me in the fetal position where you felt like you had hit rock bottom. But I felt like I had hit rock bottom. I was successful. I was degreed, 2-degreed. I had wonderful parents. I was doing everything that I wanted to do, but I hit a rock bottom place. And what I decided is that I needed to not stay stuck there. And that wasn't my only rock bottom place. I have been in rock bottom more than once. I know that everybody else is probably perfect in here, but I've hit rock bottom more than once. And so every time I knew that I needed to bounce back. And the one thing that I would say is that you have got to ask for help. You have got to ask for help. You cannot go it alone. You can't do it alone because connection is key. Connection is key to your bounce back.
And as you say connection is key, as I jump in right now, you mentioned connection is key, asking for help. My mind's going over to Mozella on the other side.
Yeah.
And when you talk about asking for help, Mozella, what's kind of going through your mind? Some folks may think, oh my gosh, I don't want to seem too weak. I mean, I appear to be strong. What's going through your mind? Then we're going to go back over to Regina, and maybe she'll give us a quick example of another time where she asked for help or someone asked for help and how it benefited them. But what's going through your mind, Mozella, as you're listening over there in Potomac, Maryland?
I completely agree with what she's saying, Regina, because so often we feel that we have to know everything, and we can't know everything. And so the key is to really know, like you said, when I believe in teams. And I think that anytime we can include other people who can know and do and share and tell us what we don't know, then we are just going to be that much stronger.
Agreed.
So they help us, right?
No, I agree 100%.
Yeah.
Regina, thanks. I agree. For those folks out there, come back to Regina. Here's what you can do. As you're watching at home, Daphne's out there. Julia's out there. Kieta says, yay, Regina. She's watching you. Margie's out there. And so many folks are tuned in. Do me a favor. Don't worry. We're going to ask her to kind of give us another idea. She said get help, but she has another idea. Don't worry. She said she has another idea for you. I'm confident. But you do me a favor at home. You hit the share button. You hit the watch party button. One of the ways that you can do is you can pay this message forward. All of the experts said it's okay with that. You can take the link and put it into your private community. You can take the link and post it to your page. You can bless someone else right now. We believe in the giver's economy. The person who gives the competition out-earns the competition. The person outgives the competition out-earns the competition. So please give. All right, Regina, we're talking about bounce back. You came out very vulnerable. Thanks for sharing. Now give us another idea. They're on their seats like, wow, okay, I got to ask for help, Shay. What else can I do?
You cannot view the setback, the fear, the trauma. You can't view that as permanent. It is only temporary. It is a temporary situation. So you cannot view it as permanent. And many times people are like, oh, this is what's going to be. This is what's going to happen to me. This is how I'm going to be. I just want to say, I don't know. There's some of you out there, you may not have been through multiple marriages like me, but I never viewed any one of those as a failure or as a setback. I viewed those as temporary to my next level.
Temporary to your next level. I'm going to go over to Sheila and see what she's thinking and what's going through her mind right now as you're hearing Regina talk again. Being very vulnerable, by the way. Multiple marriages, setbacks, but never viewing it as temporary. What are you thinking right now?
Well, I love that because I think we all have been there on a lot of different planes, in our personal lives and our professional lives. And that's one of the big things one of the big lessons that I've learned over this past year is that you do need people. You can't do things on your own oftentimes. And honestly, you shouldn't do it because it's so much more fun to collaborate with others. And you may not know what your next step is, and you might open yourself up to collaboration that could open doors to multiple next steps for you. So, just limiting yourself and closing yourself off. And I think about Regina talking about herself in the fetal position, just kind of curled up and inward. When you do that, you're not open to receive anything. And especially being a person of faith, you cut yourself off from the Lord when you close in. So
Got it.
Just remaining open and outstretched, just give so many more opportunities for you to do things, collaborate in business.
Absolutely.
Be blessed by the Lord, and just pay it forward in small little ways. So
Right. So thanks a lot for sharing. What I like to do, make sure everyone's on mute, obviously, is we're all on here together because we might hear ourselves come back in. I'm going to go to Regina to close out and give her 90 seconds to just share her thoughts about bouncing back. She's got a topic. I want you to make sure all the watching, you connect with her. We'll get to that after the inspirational segment. But Regina, give you 90 seconds for the persons out there is like, can I really do this? Can I get back in the ring again? Is this possible? Is it too late for me? So I want you to give 90 seconds. You got the bounce back, and don't worry, as you're sharing that, Sheila's getting ramped up, and she'll be coming on talking about making sure that you are in your purpose and your passion and so forth. 90 seconds, Regina, close us out.
I will just say, everyone will fall, but not everyone will rise. Everyone will fall, but not everyone will rise. Are you the riser? You can bounce back. When you have connection, your culpability goes up. When you do not have connection with people who want the best for you, it brings on depression and so many other things. So connect with the right people. Connect with the people that can help you to bounce back. So that will be it, Shay.
No, that's not it. She'll be back, ladies and gentlemen. That's not it. Don't worry. The best is still yet to come for her. She's coming back. Don't worry. For Jerome that's out there watching, thanks a lot. Mozella, who's watching, thanks a lot, by the way. Kelvin, who's tuned in. All of you who are watching right now, hit the share button. We're going to go down to Gulf Coast, Mississippi, or Biloxi, Mississippi. One of them, she'll tell you where she's broadcasting in from. And she's going to share, she being Sheila, this whole concept about, you got to bounce back, but with a purpose and a passion. Sheila, you picked purpose and passion, the two P's. Yeah. Tell us why you picked it and why it's so important to someone right now that's bouncing back or they're ready for the takeoff.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm coming from Biloxi, Mississippi. It's beautiful down here on the Gulf Coast, by the way.
Oh, that's a plug. And beautiful down here. It's beautiful in Washington, D.C., too. No, I'm messing with you.
It is, too. I lived in D.C. I loved it there, and I'm from Atlanta, so I got the whole room covered today. I just love that. And I chose my topic with a purpose and passion because, honestly, this is the first opportunity that I had to share something that was a little bit personal to me. Oftentimes when I speak, I speak about business topics, how to overcome obstacles in business. But this time it was actually really, it's a personal thing because I think if you're thinking with a champion mindset, and mindset is truly, and I think it was somebody on the panel, and I've forgotten who it was, it said something about your mindset. Definitely, you've got to have the right mindset in order to be successful. And if you are playing by somebody else's rule book, or you're measuring your success by somebody else's yardstick, and you're not doing things the way that the Lord equipped you to do those things, because I believe we're all equipped with a purpose. We have things that we need to do and accomplish while we're here on this planet. And I believe that the Lord gives us gifts that we're supposed to use in service to other people. And when we're not doing that, I've found for myself, it's like I am playing small. I feel like I'm just not, I'm existing but not living. And so my plea for anybody listening is don't do that. Don't listen to the other people. Don't measure yourself by somebody who's Facebook famous. Look and see what your life is really like and what you really want to do, where your passion in life is. I call myself an eternal optimist because I love to find the positivity in a situation, in a person, in whatever. And sometimes, we all struggle to do that. So it's not like you guys have seen me here and I'm kind of smiley all the time, and that's really kind of me. I'm just like that. That's the way I'm wired up. And I would encourage and challenge anybody who's listening to, don't be afraid to be you, because you're good enough. You're what the world needs. You are equipped with everything that you need to serve other people. So that's the premise of what I'm here to share with everybody. It's
you are good enough. You are good enough. We're going to come back to you because I want you to give maybe one idea for somebody to find their purpose or their passion. So think about one idea maybe you can share. But Wendy, as you're hearing those words as she came down the home stretch, you're good enough. And for the person out there that may look the part, as she said, Facebook famous, I love that, are doing whatever it is they're doing out there, there might be a little voice in the back of their mind saying, you're not really that good. No, you're not. You're really a phony. It's imposter syndrome. Take a moment, Wendy, when you heard her speaking, what are your thoughts? That whole term, you're good enough.
Well, I think you have to be transparent. And, a lot of people see you on the outside, but they don't really know what's going on the inside. It's like the iceberg. You see this iceberg at the, top and the beauty of it, but you don't see the struggles and everything that helped build that iceberg. And you just have to be transparent. I've found that the more transparent I am, not saying you got to tell all your business, but I'm saying if you have a struggle and you're transparent about it, you'll be surprised at who's in a position to help you out with that struggle. So I think transparency is important. And like I said, be for real, don't fake it. Be who you are, and not saying that who you are is good or bad. It's just saying be you. And then as you are transparent with the struggles or the successes or whatever that may be, other people can help you and you can help other people. So I think that's important.
Yeah, it says so well, and it goes in harmony with what Regina was saying, which is ask for help. I mean, it's okay to be yourself and say, I need help. All right, Sheila, they haven't forgot, by the way. They did not forget that I asked a question about, you get one idea, like, okay, I'm feeling it. Someone else out there saying, hey, I'm doing well. Like, life is good. Like, my plane is taking off, but I'm not sure a step I should take to make sure that I'm walking in my purpose, or I'm walking in my passion. So slow down for a moment, then we'll speed up, but take a minute or so and just kind of talk about how does one either find their purpose or passion, or how to know if they're walking in their purpose or passion.
I love that question. Thank you for that, by the way, because a lot of times this is what I do in my business. People will come to me with, they don't know what their next step should be in business. And so I will tell them, well, let's take a look at what you're doing. Well, I'm an author, I'm a speaker, I'm a dancer, I'm a photographer, the list is about 12 miles long. And I'm like, okay, so what do you get paid to do? Because you don't get paid to do all those things. So in order to help somebody try to find their passion and their purpose, I tell them, write all of those things down, write everything down, get it all out onto paper, and let's look at it. And then, let's take a little time and do some soul searching with the Lord in the good book and see what really resonates with you. What is it that you can't live without? If you had to strip everything away, what would be the one or two or even three things left? And then we go to work.
Oh, I love it. I know that Regina's over there bouncing up and down, especially when you start talking about the Lord as a believer and a lot of stuff that she does, and all the folks on the panel, by the way. But I want to give her 60 seconds if she can jump right in. And did you hear her talk about making sure you're in your purpose and your passion? Regina, what's going through your mind? She said, first, you need to check in with the good book. Make sure you're in harmony and alignment. And as you're getting ready to answer that question, shout out to folks that are out there. Erna Jordan is out there. I see you. Thanks for joining, by the way. Shelby Fontana's out there watching, always in the house. It's an honor to have you. Sherlock Doe is in the house, by the way. Gwendolyn Crutcher in the house, and so many folks who are tuned in right now. Y'all are bringing out the all-stars tonight. Y'all are bringing out the all-stars. All right, Regina, 60 seconds. She said, make sure that you check in with the good book. And everyone rose up. So they want to know, okay, Regina, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, it whatever that book is to you, right? So my faith is in the Bible. And so I check in with that good book, but whatever that good book is to you, you need to check in with something that is greater than you. That's the most important thing, is that you don't feel like I got it, I'm doing this on my own, is that there is something greater than you. So that's my biggest thing in terms of checking into the good book, checking into what that resource is for you, so that you can be the most powerful person and you can walk in your purpose and passion. I thank you so much, because I definitely believe in purpose and passion. Purpose and passion is what wakes you up every single morning.
And we're woke up down. We're ready to rock and roll. Sheila, I want to give you 60 seconds to bring it down the home stretch. They're out there right now. The mom says, yes, I'm ready to start my business. Someone saying, yes, I'm going to go back to the gym. Someone says, yes, I'm going to drink 8 glasses of water. And as soon as these lights go off, by the way, and the power of these fiber optic lines are coming through, they got to go do it. So they're ready for their purpose. They're ready for their passion. What's the first step they should take as you close out? And don't worry, as you're over there, Wendy's thinking about, her topic. She's going to be coming up in just a moment, and she'll be sharing what she'll be talking about. But go ahead and talk about what's one of the steps they should take right now, the person that's listening.
Yeah. One of the steps that you take right now is, just like I said, take inventory. Just take inventory of yourself. Get to know yourself a little bit better and be honest. Don't look to the left. Don't look to the right. Look in the mirror and decide, who you really are, and get in touch with that person. And like I said, listen to your heart and to the things that resonate with you, and watch for the things that keep reappearing in your life over and over again, because those are the things that you really need to pay attention to.
Says so well. Thanks a lot. Certainly appreciate that. Now we're going over to the one and only Wendy. What's going on, Wendy? Say hello to everybody, most importantly, and then tell them where are you broadcasting in from and your topic. And ladies and gentlemen that are home, you probably know what's going to happen right now. She's going to tell you why it's relevant to you. They know the drill by now. Don't worry. But you that are home right now, that are watching, do me a favor. Hit the share button. We want to reach as many people as possible. They want to help as many people as possible. So everyone hit the share button, hit the watch party button, pay this message forward. Bless another little girl, or bless another little boy, or big girl or big boy that's out there right now, that this message can change their life. Because how many ideas do you need to change your life? One. And they probably already dropped 30 or 50 plus ideas, with another 50 plus ideas to come. All right, Wendy, talk to us.
I'm coming to you from Atlanta, Georgia, the dirty South. And my topic is overcoming the 6 obstacles to winning the money game. And, everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people have issues about money. And it's not always people that don't have it. I find that most of my clients that have money have the most issues. So it's not, whether you have it or not. But one of my favorite quotes is by Robert Kiyosaki, and I open all my talks with it. It says, it's not about how much money you make, but how much money you keep, how hard it works for you, and how many generations you keep it for. And, we've got to get beyond that want it now, spend it now, don't worry about tomorrow, because, times are difficult, just like we're in this pandemic now. Folks that were making big money are losing their jobs. So they're going from, bountiful plenty to barely making it. But if you know how to overcome those obstacles, then it doesn't matter what the economic conditions in the world or for you are. You'll be able to, overcome and come to the next level. So that's my thing. And then I talked about one of the major obstacles is your mindset. And another one of my favorite quotes is, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And I just did a meme, posted a meme on Facebook, and it's a picture of a house in like a gift box. And it says, don't say I can't afford this, say how can I afford it? And that's where you get to, your mindset. You look at people that win the lottery and then a year later they're broke, athletes and actors, they make all this money, but then they're broke. And that's because their mindset isn't right. So you got to, get that mindset. You got to understand basic principles. And if you do, you have to know the people that you want to handle your money, you have to know what they're supposed to be doing. Whether you do it yourself or farm it out, you have to know, because a lot of people that got money, let someone else, handle it. Next thing you know, they're broke because somebody stole their money. So you have to know. You got to have that right mindset.
Yeah. Wendy, where does this passion come from that you have dealing with a topic, money and health is always a difficult topic for folks, no matter what age they are. Where does this passion come from that you have, this burning desire that's inside of you to get this out to the masses, that they can change their money situation based on certain principles? Where does this passion come from that you have?
Well, it comes from two places. Back when I started my business over 37 years ago, I didn't know about business. I've had limited resources, but I had, like I said, a purpose and a passion to do, to create this business and learn along the way. But I guess most recently is because I'm a breast cancer conqueror. And because I had the proper protection, that my $1.1 million chemo bills were paid by my health insurance. The $350,000 in medical expenses from the 5 surgeries paid by my health insurance. And then the multi 6-figure shot in the arm that was tax-free came because I had supplemental insurance. So, I was fine in my comfort zone. I'm healthy and, got some money going on. But then God said, no, you're getting out of that comfort zone and you're going to be a crusader to help other people be in a position, or at least empower them. Now, whether or not they do it, or it's up to them, but it's my fiduciary responsibility to empower them. So that's why I do what I do. And that's where it's come from. Talk about using the good book. I'm a spiritual person, and I learned a long time ago, when the spirit talks, you're obedient, do what you're supposed to, and everything falls into place. So that's why I do what I do.
Warren, as you're listening to Wendy, who's being very transparent as well, what are you thinking right now, man?
Well, I'm going to tell you, when you talk about money, the people that have it want more and the people that don't have it want more. But, the funny thing is, everybody have the same money problem. So it's not the money that's the problem. It's the management of the money and the value of the money. So I am in total agreement. When we look at marriage and relationships, one of the top 5 reasons, and it stays in the top 5, that couples separate is because of finances. So, it's a big deal. Growing up poor in the country, not knowing how to manage money. When I first joined the Army, all I did was spend. Spent 3 years, and I got a couple of things to show for them, but they're all memories. So that money thing is a huge, huge thing in the management of that money. So I applaud you for your transparency and your passion in money, because we definitely need it.
Yeah. Wendy, for the persons out there listening right now and saying, wow, what's my big takeaway from Wendy as she comes down the home stretch? What's the one idea? If you say, you know what, here's just one idea of all these ideas I have around money. Here's just one idea that I'm going to depart on you right now. And you at home, you just go and lean in. I mean, you go and get a piece of paper out or get your phone out or tablet out and go ahead and write this down. If it's not for you, pass it to someone else. But if you want to help someone else right now, hit the share button. Like, here's the good news. You can take 2 thumbs and copy, paste, share, and you can do that. That you can do. How do you give the panel a digital applause? You hit the share button. That's how you do it. See? Hit the share button. They're tuned in with you. They're right here with you right now, but they know one thing. They're collaborating so the message can get out to someone else. So that's how you can do that. Please do that right now. For everyone that's done that, thank you so much. It means so much for us to be able to help so many other folks who this message will help change where they are and take them to another level. Okay, Wendy, as you're getting queued up over there, share one idea with us, if you would. And then Warren, Bowtie Fester is getting ready. And don't worry, after that, Mozella's going to bring it down the home stretch. There's that summit. There's that mountain. You got all these pieces, but you can still rise to the top. Okay, Wendy, over to you.
Okay, my one thing is what God has for you is for you, and he has a lot for you, and you have to be willing to go for it, and nobody's going to block your blessings but you. You know, a lot of people say, well, I can't do this because so-and-so did this to me, or I don't have this. You can have whatever you want. You can afford whatever you want. You just have to follow the spirit, take action, transform your thinking, and do what you need to do. I'm not saying don't have a pity party, because everybody's entitled to a pity party, but don't stay there. Have your pity party and leave and move on, because you do have to release, especially when you're dealing with, some financial issues. They are stressful, but it doesn't mean you can't come out of it. So just, know that what's for you is for you, and nobody can block that but you.
I love that. What's for you is for you. Isn't that good to know? And one thing she said is, for all the believers out there, is that he's got more than enough for you and everybody else. So you have not because you ask not. I love it. This is great. This is wonderful. I'm getting pumped up. I'm getting fired up for all of you out there right now. Don't worry. The best is still yet to come. They're just getting warmed up. Like, they're just getting started. But before they really get ready to blast off, we got to go to the one and only Warren Bowtie Fester. And he's going to tell you his topic and more importantly, how it can benefit you or someone you love or care about. Over to you, Warren.
Yeah, Warren, Mr. Bowtie Feaster, coming to you from Crestview, Florida, and my topic is solidifying the foundation of your marriage. As you get to know me, you will see my passion for marriages and relationship. It started when I got married, and I copied my grandparents. Notice I said grandparents, and they were married 50 years when I got married. So guess what happened? My first year was a horrible year because I would do what I saw my grandfather do. Come home and grandma would take care of everything and then he'd go to work. Well, that doesn't work when you are 23 years old. And so I had to learn about what it meant to be married. And in the process of me learning what it meant to be married, what it meant to be a husband, my passion grew. I've always been a lover of relationships. I've always counseled people through. But that when I got married and started realizing I didn't know, that's when I wanted to help everybody, because a lot of people spend more time when we talk about the money and we talk about passion, they'll spend more time looking at where's the right place to go, where's the right college to go to, where's the right house to buy, where are we going to get the education from, and not take the time to spend looking at who you're going to spend till death do you part. So that foundation is very critical. How are you getting started? What are you standing on? How do you build on it? People don't spend that much time looking at that. You don't have to. That's my job. I'll help you to look at that because it's all about longevity. It's all about longevity.
It's all about
to get out of it.
It's all about longevity. I wish I'd known you with my first 2 trial marriages. I'm on my third one. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry. I'm happy, very, very happy. 2 years in, by the way. And so it's not about me. It's not about me. I'm probably the only one that's had 2 trial marriages. Don't worry. Third time's a charm, baby. I'm still on it. So my question to you and those folks that might be looking to get married, right? Some folks are in a marriage and they want to make it better. Some folks are in a marriage and we always want to make it better. And there's another group out there, Warren, they want to be married. So can you give us maybe one golden nugget that you say, you know what, this is one of the rules according to Warren. It might not be the only freaking rule, but according to you, that married couples should do in order to have a happy, I don't know, a blissful, I don't know, exciting marriage with a lot of sex. No, I'm joking. I shouldn't say that. But with a lot of stuff going on. What's an idea that you would give them? I shouldn't say that. What's an idea that you would give them? God.
One of the things that I always say when I talk to people about their relationship or, whatever, when they're looking to a relationship is the relationship is between three people. You, your spouse, soon to be spouse, whatever the case may be, and God. Everybody else doesn't matter. So if we are, and with that same note, your relationship is unique and different than everyone else. What gets a lot of relationships and a lot of people in trouble is looking to the left and looking to the right and comparing their relationship with other relationships, when in fact, your relationship is tailored between you and your spouse. That is the biggest. Everything else falls into place of that because you're too busy looking left or looking right. So that's normally what I tell people all the time. Focus on your marriage, your relationship, your spouse. Build up what you are trying to build up, not everybody else.
You talk about dealing with relationships, talk about communication. I'm going to ask Regina, and she'll take about 90 seconds, and then I'm going to go right over to Sheila to talk about the importance of communication in relationships, the importance of communication in relationships. And then we're going to go back over to the one and only Warren, and he's going to give us another idea. He gave you one, but he's not going to leave you on the edge of your seat. I promise you, he's going to come back with another one. But let's get to this communication thing so we can stay focused. Over to you first, Regina.
Well, communication is absolutely key. It's key to healthy relationships, healthy partnerships, healthy collaborations, and to you personally. Let me tell you where your first communication. You need to have positive communication with yourself. You need to have positive communication with yourself, and the positive communication you have with yourself, you need to speak it out loud. I am a millionaire. Whatever those affirmations, mantras, whatever you want to call them, you need to speak positive communication on yourself. So that is truly what I believe.
Love it.
Positive communication. Not just communication, but positive communication.
Love it. Sheila, what's going through your mind? Don't worry, we're going to go back over to Warren. And for those folks that are out there that are watching, that are tuned in right now, all of you out there, by the way, Rena out there, Rita that's out there. Kay Dunn says hello. She's out there. Oh, y'all can't see me. So many folks that are out there right now. Thanks for tuning in. Mother dear, it's always a pleasure. She often watches these shows. She's out there watching, probably like, oh, this is so good. The ship's coming in, Mother. The ship's coming in. She always says that. My ship's coming in. And so over to you now, Sheila. Talk about the power of communications, especially as it relates to a relationship.
Yeah, I think Warren gave us a really good example of the importance of discussing expectations in relationships. In personal relationships, it's hugely important. It's also important in business relationships because like he approached his marriage as a 23-year-old looking at his grandparents, and, his spouse may not have known that or may have had a different idea about it, but failure to communicate that or express those expectations in a relationship can get you into trouble. So being aware of that, especially when it comes to money too. I think I'm looking at Dr. Wendy and I'm thinking, oh yeah, definitely for money, you have to discuss those expectations, and that will definitely keep you out of trouble, I think, in relationships.
Thank you. I'm loving it. All right, back over to you, Warren, as they gave their input and thoughts. Talk to us, if you would. What's one more idea that we all can use in order to have a happy, exciting relationship, especially a marriage?
Well, the first idea I gave you was looking forward. The next idea I'm going to give you is to stop looking back. A lot of times we are bringing old relationships, and Che, I'm gonna use you because you said you're, third time's a charm. When you come into the new relationship, it's very critical that you leave the other two behind. We'll take things that happened in prior relationships and look at them in this relationship. And the reason why we don't want to do that, number one, it's unfair to you, and two, it's so unfair to the person that you're trying to build a relationship with. If you're continually comparing them, well, the last one did this or the last one did that. Well, I know you're going to do this because you did that. So that excess baggage of old relationships is a major no-no. And so getting over that is really a challenge. Some people, I tell people sometimes we just need to go on a retreat and let those things go before we can move on. But in most cases, we got to go to work the next day. We break up today, we go to work the next day, and that person might be at work. So how do you get rid of, how do you diffuse, how do you let go, how do you carry on? And forgiveness is not always forgetting. So those past relationships are very critical and crucial in how you dive into your new relationships.
I love it. Said so well. For those folks that are out there watching, by the way, don't worry. Mozella's coming up in just a second because you're probably wondering, with all this going on, can I rise to the challenge? Like, can I really, can I do this? It sounds exciting. Well, yeah, you can. I love what Warren just said. I was talking to Dr. George C. Fraser about many months ago, and I asked him what his secret to success was. He said exactly what you said. He's been married 47 years. He said, Shay, can I sum it up for you and give you one word for advice? I said, one word? How can you give me one word for advice? Only Dr. Fraser can say something crazy like that. And he said exactly what you said. He said, you know how I've been able to do it? Amnesia. Amnesia? What do you mean? Just forget what took place and move forward. One word. I can't believe I'm quoting him now. He's probably laughing somewhere. So with that being said, we're going to go to the one and only Mozella. She's been getting herself together, and she's been listening over here and listening over there and listening over there. And now she's ready to say, here's how you can rise to the challenge in your marriage or in your relationships. Here's how you can rise to the challenge with all the money stuff that's going on. Here's how you can rise to the challenge and find your purpose and your passion. And then right now, if you're sitting down saying, God, I got to get out this situation, here's how you can rise and bounce back. So give us, if you would, I gave him the topic, rise to the challenge. Why'd you pick that topic? And you said you had 7 core paths to the summit. Talk about that and why that's important. And don't worry, everyone's going to hit mute, but you're going to come off mute. That's the good news. Everyone's going to hit mute, and then you're going to come off mute. It's all right. It's cool. It's all good.
Always looking at the wrong.
No, I appreciate, ladies and gentlemen, they're being so kind to each other, and they're all hitting mute. So they've got to work a little harder. It's like mute, unmute, mute, unmute, mute, unmute. So thank you all so much for being courteous. I appreciate every single one of you. So I was just joking with you.
Great. Well, that's fine. Well, listen, I'm really excited about the topic, Rise to the Challenge, because, when I listen to everything that everyone has said, I now immediately go to my metaphor, which is the mountain. And so often we think of a mountain as an obstacle. It's like, oh my gosh, it's this big wall, this is obstacle I have to get over. But there's hardly a goal that we don't have, that we can't place somewhere on that mountain and then work our way. We need to have our maps and our pathways and know how we can actually attain that goal. And so when I talk about the 7 core pathways, the very first one, and we talked about it several times, is having that vision. Really, really seeing what is it that I want? Because a lot of times someone says, well, what would you like to do? Or where would you like to go? And we can't really define it. And we need to have a real crystal clear picture of where are we going and how are we going to get there. And that how question, let me just address that, because a mountain, any goal that we have it's going to take quite a bit to get there. But if you ask how too quickly, then the first thing you need to say is, yes, this is what I want. This is where I want to go. Because if you ask how, we get paranoid about, oh my gosh, how am I going to do that? And then we'll tell ourselves, no, we can't, before we even set foot on that mountain toward that goal. So imagine first is a very, very important tool that you have to know exactly what it is. You may not always see all the steps, but you have to have a clear picture. And then,
so the first one is vision. If I can jump in for a second, the first one is vision. We'll come back to the second one. You've got to have a vision. And as you're listening, Wendy, she's talking about vision. You've got to be able to make sure you know where you're going. You got to make sure you can see it. I think of my good friend Delatour McNeil would say you got to see it before you see it, or you never see it. Right. Wendy, talk about vision if you can in about 90 seconds. And then we're going to go back over to Mozella, and she's going to finish talking about how you can rise to the challenge. And she's going to give us another idea that we can use.
Well, you have to know what you want in order to try to get it. And that does take vision. My thing is diagnosing your financial health. So you have to know where you are to see how you're going to get to where you're going. So you got that vision, but you have to know where you are, and then you can map out how to get there. But the vision is key, because like faith, you see it before you get it. And that's how you go for it. So the vision is crucial.
All right. I'm thinking, okay, we got the vision. Mozella, we're thinking, okay, we're on the edge of our seat. What else do we need to do to rise to this challenge? I mean, this is our time. Ladies and gentlemen, for those folks out there that are watching, you know that this is your time, that this is your moment. Don't write a comment right now. Just hit the share button. And when you hit the share button, just right in that little box that pops up, now is my time. Yeah. Now is your time. You're going to see the vision. You prayed for it. You got the vision now. Now Mozella's going to say, okay, now you got the vision. Now what? All right, Mozella, over to you as they're hitting the share button.
Now you need to be prepared. You need to choose your boots. That's the name of that next step. And what choose the boots means is essentially, whether it's people, tools, something you need to learn, you need to pull all of what in your backpack. You need to have everything that you're going to need, that you can anticipate that you're going to need. So preparedness is that very, very next step. And then after you've had that step, you want to make sure that what you say, what comes out of your mouth, is supported by what you believe. Because very often we say, oh, I want this, or I'm going to get that, and I'm prepared and I've got everything I need. But then, like you were talking about, Shay, that little voice in the back of your head is saying, you're not ready. You can't do this. And that belief, and that step is called attitude, then altitude. Because without the right attitude, you're not going to make it up to that summit, to the peak that you're trying to reach. So attitude, then altitude, having the belief, the right belief. And then so often we come up against something, and the next step is called climb the wall. And we become the first obstacle, the first hurdle that we meet. We just kind of, oh my gosh, I can't do this. I can't move forward. And we need to have the courage to overcome, because we're always going to have obstacles on that mountain. We're always going to have them. Something is going to happen out there that we have no control over in terms of what happens externally. What we do have control over is how we react, how we respond, the choices that we make.
The choice is us. How we respond, the choice is ours. And for those folks that are listening out there, thanks so much for tuning in. I'm going to go back to Mozella. Let's get ready to transition to a segment called Today is My January 1st. I'm going to go back to her and give her 60 seconds to kind of give us one more and bring it down the home stretch, to kind of bring this thing down the home stretch, if you would. So, Mozella, you said there was 7. You gave us 2. We are very thankful for that. And you gave us a third one. But don't worry. She's not giving it all away. And if she did, don't worry. She's got more. Okay? So give us just one more idea as you try to bring us to the home stretch on how we can rise to the challenge, the pathways to the top of the summit.
All right. Let's say you're at the summit. You're at the top of the mountain. You have your goal. You've got your financial house in order. Your marriage is strong. And then you realize, gosh, if I just expand myself, just stretch myself a little bit more, I can actually reach the peak. And so that's really what Look Beyond the Summit is about. Just you've got your vision, but when you get to where you think you want to be, put that much more effort in so you can take it right up to the peak. And then there's always another mountain to climb, of course. Some of us are climbing more than one at the same time.
I love that. I love that. For those folks that are out there, by the way, as we listen to all of them, we're going to a segment now called Today is My January 1st. And for those folks that are watching that know what I'm about to do, you can look right below the video. You can look right below the video, and you can write those words. Today is my January 1st. And for those folks who want to know when they're writing those words, what's up, Karen? I see you. Or SD Barnes, I see you as well. That today is my January 1st. Rita Green, what does that really mean, you may be asking? Well, today is my January 1st is one of our core beliefs. I think everyone should have a core methodology, something that guides them. And our belief is that you don't wait for January the 1st to change your life. Any day that you make a decision to take action that could change the trajectory of your life, that's a January 1st moment. And there's probably 1,000 moments throughout the day, and any one of those decisions could change it. You make a decision you're going to eat hamburgers and french fries, that's a January 1st moment. You make a decision you're going to work out, that's a January 1st moment. So it's a fresh start. It's a do-over. It's my past. My past does not equal the future. Happy New Year. It's got to feel good. You can create that moment. So I'm going to go around and I'm going to ask them the question. When you hear those words, today is my January 1st. What kind of goes to your mind? We're going to start with Mozella, and then we'll go from Mozella, go backwards to Warren, and then from Warren over to Wendy, and then over to Sheila to bring it down the home stretch. All right, Mozella, when you hear those words, today is my January 1st. What's going through your mind?
Use the power of your choice. Use your choice.
Use the power of your choice. I love it. All right. What's going on in your mind? There she goes. What's going on in your mind? Hit the wrong button. Warren. And then after Sheila, we're going to go right over to Regina. All right, go ahead. And when you hear those words, today is my January 1st, Warren, what goes through your mind?
Today is your January 1st, meaning you start with the man in the mirror and you take action. That's what it means with today is your January 1st.
I love it. Today is your January 1st. All right, Wendy, when you hear those words, today is my January 1st. They're writing those words down right now. What's going through your mind?
It means to me that every day is a new opportunity. So, whatever you want to do, today is that opportunity to start doing it.
I love it. Today is your January 1st. Sheila!
Gotta go with enthusiasm. Today is my January 1st. It's like, let's get out and get this done. Let's have some passion.
Let's have some passion. Okay, I'm feeling it. Regina, when you hear those words, today is my January 1st, what goes through your mind?
Today is my January 1st. What I feel is I can be changed by what happens to me, but I refuse to be reduced by it. Today is my January 1st.
I love it. Today is my January 1st. So with that being said, I'm going to go back around the room. I'm going to ask each of them if they'll take 30 seconds and tell folks how can they best stay in contact with you. So take a few seconds, tell them what you do. And then in 30 seconds, you're going to make it all happen in 30 seconds. This is what I do. And then how can they best stay in contact with you over and beyond today? Maybe there's a website, maybe there's a place they can go to, they can connect with you. So I'm going to start with Regina, and then we'll go Sheila, then we'll go, I think it was Wendy, then we'll go Warren, I think that was the path, and then we'll go over to Mozella. All right, Regina, how can they best connect? What do you do, and how can they best connect with you?
Well, I'm your resiliency coach. And so if you're feeling stuck, if you are feeling left in a place, if you are suffering from fear, I am your resiliency coach to help you get back up. I'm going to take you out of the fetal position and stand you right on up. And you can connect with me at www.reginaclay.com.
All right, Regina Clay. Got your name, Regina Clay. That's kind of cool. All right, over to you, Sheila.
Yeah, so I'm your business strategist. If you're the person who's if you're a small business owner or an entrepreneur, and you just don't know what's next, what move should I make? I'm the person you need to speak with. And you can find me across social media, Sheila Farr, LinkedIn, Facebook, or at my business, Gulf Coast Training and Education Services, the website, www.gulfcoasttraining.org.
Love it. Thanks so much for sharing. Thanks so much. Wendy.
Dr. Wendy Labat, the financial healer. And you can follow me on Facebook at Dr. Wendy Labat or The Financial Cures, or go to my website, thefinancialcures.com, or join my Facebook group, The Financial Cures, because I provide inspiration and information about taxes, the PPP loans, the stimulus, taking control over your finances, having proper protection to prevent financial ruin, and everything dealing with finance and business.
Thank you so much for sharing. Warren, how can they best connect with
Warren,
you?
Mr. Bowtie Feaster, I am your marriage foundation specialist. My goal is to get you from just surviving in marriage, but to thriving in marriage. You can reach me at my website, www.warrenmrbowtiefeaster.com. All social media, Warren Mr. Bowtie Feaster, except for Twitter and Clubhouse, they are Mr. Bowtie Feaster.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. And Mozella.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey. Mozella, I am your mountain guide. And my whole purpose is to help you, whether it's in your personal, professional life, help you navigate your way to each one of those steps so that you can know exactly where you're going and make it to your goal and beyond. And you can reach me at mountainpeakstrategies.com.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing. Now we're going to ask them a question I asked all of them early on of all the mentors you had, and most of you folks that are watching know this is one of my favorite questions. They're all my favorite questions, but this is really one of my favorite questions. Of all the mentors you've had along this journey of life, and you've had so many mentors along this journey, what's one of the lessons that you learned from any one of your mentors that you can share with us? And then after they share it with you, don't worry, I'm going to ask them to have their closing thoughts and comments, and they've been so gracious to give us so much time. And for those folks that are at home, thank you so much for giving us so much time as well. They're here to serve and add value. They didn't ask for any Cash App payments tonight. There are no Zelle payments that are needed. They'll take those, though. Trust me. They'll give you. If I ask them for the Cash App right now, they will all give you their Cash App. But they're here today just to serve plus add value. Serve plus add value. So now I'm going to ask them to serve you one more time and give you the number one lesson they've learned from their mentor. And as they do that, you all at home, y'all all just lean in, because this is kind of cool. Think of all the lessons they've learned in their life. Think of all the books they've read, all the mentors they've had. And they're all very, 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 very green. So they all just got started, but they've had some experience. So let's see what they have to say. I'm curious myself. We'll go the way we started. We'll go Regina, then we'll go Sheila, then we'll go Wendy, and then we'll go over to Warren, and then we'll close with the one and only Dr. Mozella before they give their closing comments. All right, Wendy, of all the mentors you've had along this journey of life, what's one lesson you're going to pass on to us so we can all benefit?
I would say.
I said Wendy. I'm sorry. I meant to say Regina. Sorry.
That's okay.
Connie Green, don't send me a note. April, I see you out there. I messed up. I'm sorry. Okay. Regina's first.
Good. Opportunities don't go away. They go to others.
Okay. Give us another 30 seconds on that one.
Huh?
I said give us another 30 seconds. Kind of expound on that a little bit. I like that.
Opportunities don't go away, they go to others. So in other words, when an opportunity presents itself to you, take advantage of it, because it's gonna go to somebody else. So somebody else is gonna invent that. Somebody else is gonna do that. Somebody else is gonna create that program. Somebody else is gonna create that. So take the opportunity while you can.
I love it. This is like one of my favorite segments. They're all my favorite segments, but this one I love because think about it. You get the benefit from years of wisdom right now in the present moment. It takes some effort to do this, and they're doing a really good job. So thank all of you panel for playing along and doing this. All right, Sheila, purpose and passion. Talk to me.
I'm going to have to say, don't be so focused on the destination that you forget to enjoy the journey.
All right, now you know you got to take another 60 seconds and explain. So for everyone out there, they won't just give you a one-liner that they're trying to respect time, and I appreciate that. But they're going to give you another 60 seconds to explain that one-liner. See, they're going to do that. They're going to do that. So, Sheila, you have a little more time. I know you're trying to respect time, but you have 60 seconds. So kind of tell us a little about what you mean by that.
Absolutely. No, I know we talk a lot about focus and having, vision and knowing where we're going. But I think oftentimes we get so honed in on that we forget that, the peaks and the valleys that we encounter along the way to that destination, some beautiful things happen and some opportunities, unexpected things might present themselves. And if we're not looking for that, and if we're not open for that, we might miss it. So be sure to keep your eyes open and not, just enjoy the things that happen to you and just embrace it all, because it's all part of life. So live it.
Thank you so much. I'm embracing this moment with all of you right now. Just embracing the moment. I'm here with you right now. This is cool. Very special. Thank you. And thank you all. And don't worry. After they take the number one lesson, they're going to give you their closing comments. Don't worry about that. They've already agreed. They've been thinking about it. They're fired up, and they're going to share that with you when we come down the home stretch in just a second. All right. Over to you, Dr. Wendy.
I got a couple.
You got a couple. I got darn. You got a couple. I asked for one.
They go together. I know they go together.
Okay. Here we go. I told y'all.
Okay, the distance between what you want and what you get is what you do, and you got to keep that in mind. But it takes discipline, and my definition of discipline is deciding what you want more over what you want now. So whenever you decide, okay, do I want to do this? Do I have the discipline? Then you ask yourself, do I want this more or do I want this now? So those are the two that I want to impart.
I love it. Thank you so much. I like that. Perfect. I like it. I like discipline. Great. Warren, you're next.
One of my very first mentors told me, he said, when they came to Jesus and asked him, hey, it's time to pay taxes, he looked at Peter and said, go fishing. Peter went fishing, pulled the fish out. There was a coin in his mouth. And he said, now take the coin and pay taxes. So what I learned from that and what he taught me was that don't worry about the money, worry about the fish. In other words, if you feed the fish will feed you. That has been a valuable piece of advice that I've lived with for a very long time.
No, first time I heard that. I like that. Okay, I like all these that I'm hearing. I'm like, but that was an interesting twist. I like that. Okay, good. See, I told you they got good stuff. All of them. This is all good. We all can use this. We all can benefit, because when the question is asked, when do you stop learning? The obvious answer is what? You never stop learning. Because once you learn something, you never unlearn it. That's the good news. You may not apply it, but you never unlearn it. Okay, over so we can learn some more. Over to Mozella.
Okay, I climbed Mount Kilimanjaro twice. Once when I was 50 and we failed, got to about 15,000 feet. And then the second time when I was 60, when I had the courage 10 years later to go back, and there was a success getting to 19,341 feet. Mount Kilimanjaro is one of my favorite mentors. And one of the things that she really helped me, the difference between the failure and success was what's called the 3H approach. What you think, your head, what you feel, your belief system, your heart, and your hands, what you do. And so the three of those things need to be in alignment in order to accomplish your goals.
Okay, all right. I love it. Congratulations. Climbing Mount Kilimanjaro. All of y'all are rock stars. Every single one of these folks on the panel, they all are rock stars. If I gave them more time, they would spend more time talking to you. But they're here. And what I've asked them to do is first, let's give them a round of applause. The way you give them all a round of applause for those folks that are watching, the way you do that is you first make sure that you hit the share button. And then after you hit the share button, you make sure that you hit the share button again, right? And then you copy paste that and you put that over into another group so someone else can benefit. What I've asked them to do is I asked them to share their closing thoughts. And the way they'll share their closing thoughts is I'm going to go over to them and I'm going to thank them. And then they're going to share their closing thoughts to empower you, to inspire you, but more importantly, to leave you with these words that you'll have over and beyond this conversation. And I'm going to start with the one and only Regina, who kicked us off to share her closing thoughts. And then after Regina shares her closing thoughts in 90 seconds or so, then we're going to go over to Sheila. And then after we go, y'all know how this works by now, don't y'all? I don't need to tell y'all. And then after we go over to Sheila, we go to Dr. Wendy. Then after we go to Dr. Wendy, we're going to go over to Warren. And after we go to Warren, we're going to go over to the one and only Mozella to close us out. So to all the panel, thank you. If I get a chance to say it to you one-on-one, thank you so much for being here on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. We appreciate you. Now your closing comments to the audience. Over to you, Regina, 90 seconds or less. What are your final thoughts to empower and to inspire folks?
My final thoughts are this. First, I am grateful to be here, but every person at some time in their life will experience a setback, a failure, a trauma, a trial. And you may find yourself in the fetal position, but I know that there are ways for you to get back up and for you to bounce back better than you've ever done before. Those are my closing thoughts.
Thank you so much, Regina. We appreciate that. Over to you, Sheila. And Sheila, thank you so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show, and every one of you. Your final thoughts to empower, to inspire those folks that are listening.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that. I would say just know that you were designed with a specific purpose, and the things that are calling you, you listen to them. Listen to your heart. The things that you just really have a true and foundational interest in, go after those things and go after them with all you've got. And don't let anybody to the left or to the right of you dissuade you or persuade you to go any other way. There are people waiting for you to serve them. So just think about that whenever you're trying to figure out where it is you need to go in life and what it is you need to do. Pray about it, seek God's guidance, and then go after it like you're on fire.
Go after it. I love it. Go after it like you are on fire. God, I love it. Thank you. I'm loving this. I'm getting so inspired. I'm getting pumped up. Okay. Let me just, my wife, calm down. I get so excited over here. Just relax. No one's going anywhere right now. Over to you now, Dr. Wendy. As you share, I love these. I love what I get to do. This is so much fun. To you, Dr. Wendy, to close us out, what are your final thoughts? What are your comments?
My final thoughts are, no matter what you're trying to do, you have to have the right mindset and you have to have some basic knowledge about it. Make sure you align your thinking with what you're trying to accomplish or what you're trying to get. And then the most important thing is you got to take action. So you can't just sit back and wish and hope. You got to take action. So you got to think right and you got to do right.
Think right, do right. Think right, do right. I love it. Think right and what? Do right. That's a whole sermon, but I love it. Okay, thank you so much. Think right, but you got to do right. All right, over to you now. We're going to the one and only Warren. Warren, thanks so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Your final thoughts and comments, man, to empower and to inspire us.
Well, when we talk about marriage and relationships, my advice will always center around understanding and looking at the longevity of your relationship. The same amount of energy and effort and time that you put into finding the right job, the right house, the right business, you should put that same amount of energy into your relationship. I say marriage is work, and it's worth all the work. And I always like to end with my 3 points of interest. The center of everything is family. Be the best you that you can be, and it's called life. Live it.
Call life, live it, man. I'm loving it. Thanks so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show, man. It's an honor and a privilege, but all of you a treat and certainly a treasure. Over to you, Mozella. Rise to the challenge. Close us out.
Yes, I would say just remember that it is possible. Put on your can-do boots. Look up at where you want to go. Make those steps every single day. Overcome your fears. Put on your armor of courage. It's possible.
It's possible. It's possible. Here's what's cool about it's possible. If someone else has done it, so can you. And that's what's so cool. With that being said, thank you all for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Thank you for playing Full Out. I know one thing about all of you on the panel right now. You all can make more money. I'm confident of that. But none of you, myself included, can make more time. So you've given us the most precious gift you have right now, and that is your time. So thank you so much. And you, the viewer, you, the person that's at home that tunes in, thank you so much. We appreciate you right now. I want you to know as you're watching, you've got greatness inside you. I want you to know as you're watching, you're already a winner. You're already a champion because only champions are here. And for you, today is your January 1st. You can climb the mountain. Today is your January 1st. You get the money right. Today is your January 1st. There's a relationship waiting for you. There's purpose and passion, and you can bounce back. You're knocked down, but as she said earlier, Regina, you're not knocked out. You're down, but you're not out. So with that being said, put your sunglasses on. The future is bright. And for you, the best is still yet to come. The best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. With that being said, my name, for those folks who know who's doing all that screaming, my name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. And I promise you from the bottom of my heart, we'll make some good things happen. We connect again next time. Remember this, time is long. Life, on the other hand, is very, very short. So you got to live in the moment, and you got to make it count. God bless. We wish you success. Say bye, everyone. Bye. We're out of here. Peace.
Bye.
We're gone. See you next time. Bye. Promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right,
Check.
Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what.
Damn.
Got money on my mind, I can
Damn.
never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there, and they stay there, and they stay there.
Yeah, yeah.
Cause all I do is win.
Yeah. Thank you. God bless.